The results from yesterday were just amazing. I have no other way to put that. Really, phenomenally, incredible, amazing. I don't know what word to use. But I got feedback from people who were watching this stream on the internet who normally have nothing to do with the Government 2.0 space, who saw a tweet about it or saw something on Facebook about it or on LinkedIn or elsewhere on other social media and then wanted to check it out. And we got a lot of compliments on the energy and the types of people who were here. And I heard a number of recurring themes yesterday from a lot of you, actually. One of the most common ones was that many of you were saying that this was the first time you'd come to a Government 2.0 conference camp where you weren't meeting all the same people. And actually, in fact, you were getting to meet a whole bunch of new people who you'd never had contact with before. And I think that that's a very important thing. The other piece of feedback that I got yesterday, kind of resoundingly, was that the quality of everybody sitting in this room is amazing. And yesterday we had presentations from federal agencies, from private businesses, and today we're going to be hearing, as well as foreign governments yesterday. Today we're going to be having a panel with governments from different countries. We're going to be having panels on local issues, on social media issues. And so I just want to say to everyone sitting here and everyone watching on the internet that, when I thought of this camp just a couple months ago, it was really born out of a little bit of frustration. That I felt that the message that was being sent at various Government 2.0 and Gov 2.0 conferences and camps was one essentially of a closed club of people all talking to each other, and that was it. Even though we're using words like transparency and openness, but it was the same people saying the same thing in the same venue half the time. And so I thought that it was very important as we were maturing, from the question that we were asking yesterday of what is Gov 2.0, what is Government 2.0 mean, to the point of, okay, here's a lot of these things that are actually going on, whether it's getting your pothole fixed or taking care of some state paperwork online that you used to have to send in by mail, or whatever your local issue problem is that this is going to be solving. One of the really clear things that came out of this yesterday is that without all of us sitting in this room, putting our heads in, and all of us looking at our colleagues and our friends and families around us and saying, look, this is all about us. This is not about governments. This is not about businesses or vendors. It's about the people. And Billy Grundfast, I think, really hit on this yesterday. That here's somebody who's a professional in his own field, who's listening to what was going on, and he was hearing all these great conversations about technology and openness and stand-up, but he didn't hear the word people. And he was driving that home in his remarks yesterday. It made me think about this a lot, because there's been a lot of talk about quote-unquote Government 2.0 and Citizen 2.0. And I think what we're doing now, actually, and I wrote about this in my blog last night, is I think we've hit the merger point, where it's now that the citizens and the government have to work on this together. And it's incumbent on us, I think, the people sitting in this room and the people watching and the people who are involved in this, to look at this in the same way that we've all looked at, carefully crafting our work histories, our educations, taking care of our investment portfolios. The same level of concern and interest, I think, has to be developed. And I would argue that the earlier we start with this, with trying to focus this, social media is about the younger generation to begin with. So maybe some of the focus of Government 2.0 as we're really growing as an industry might be to sort of really focus on the younger generations, the people coming out of school right now, and say, okay, here's how we used to do things. And it really didn't lead us into all these great situations. If you look at what was essentially 2008, yes, it was a big election year. Really what 2008 was it was one of the greatest debacles of the history of the United States. But it was the culmination of several years of inattention, where the people basically said, government, go ahead, go do your thing, and we're happy. The economy's doing okay, and so we're happy. And then what? And now we're all looking at it like, hey, who just took our money? And the government's thinking the same thing.
Somebody took my money.
So I think that as we look at this and defining what is Government 2.0 and creating some standards whereby government agencies can start to issue contracts that are similar, that to make the process easier for vendors, to make the process easier for all the people involved, the focus does have to be all of us. It has to be the people. And I think the question is, how do we take all this energy and focus this into a way where this really is the people benefiting, and it's not just one government agency getting to crow that they are the leaders in Government 2.0. So with those thoughts, I again want to thank everyone for coming. Yesterday was an incredible experience. We're still getting the final numbers of the amount of people who viewed us on the live internet stream, but it was tens of thousands of people, and which is amazing for any type of event. But I think it says a lot about where we are as an industry and where we are as a country and a society, in fact, a global society that is now, it's a 24-hour cycle and everything's happening like this. And, which means that we have to be staying on top of that as citizens. So I'm really excited about today, and I want to thank all of our sponsors for coming, for providing their part, and whether it was money or food or resources or computer time, whatever it was. There's all the sponsors who you see on our website and listed on all of the printed materials are just amazing. Blank spaces where you're in right now have been really gracious in helping put us together. And so just a quick couple reminders. You see back there's some posters that say thank you. So I'd ask that everybody sign those posters. We're going to be giving them to our sponsors as a way of saying thank you from the people who came. Also, there are some T-shirts for sale. Justin Herman, can you stand up for a second, please? He's our model. And you should open your jacket, too. So just $5 for the T-shirt just to cover the costs. And they're for sale all day. And we will also be having trucks come today for lunch as well, like yesterday. And there are bagels and coffee. Help yourself. Lavisa, do you have any housekeeping type comments? Do you want anything you need to say?
Just a quick reminder, please dispose of your trash in the large black trash bags instead of like the individual cans. That would be greatly appreciated.
Right, and thank you all, and let's have another amazing day today.